Look at this winter wonderland. So you might think we're done gardening for the season, but you couldn't be more wrong. It's time to start planning for next year and getting some seeds in some dirt to do some winter sowing so that when all this snow goes away and the sun is out, we'll be ready for planting. So I just went behind the shed and dug up all my old winter sow containers from last year. I have about 22 of them. And I have some new ones in the house, and I will show you how to make them. So I have some jugs here that I've been saving up for the winter sowing. First thing you want to do, remove the labels. You want the sun to be able to get in the jugs. You can also discard the cap. You won't be needing those. The next thing you'll need to do is put holes in the bottom for drainage. So I bought a little soldering gun. Super simple. I put 4 in the bottom. I also put 1 in the side just in case those get clogged. Now we're going to need to make a cut all the way around 3 sides. I use the soldering gun to make a hole so I can get the scissor in. About 4 inches of soil is what's recommended. Now I'll take my scissor and I'm just going to cut around. Some people use a razor blade, that's fine. But I'm only going to cut enough so that it has a hinge so you can open and close. I'm going to use these markers and I'm going to put them inside the jugs. That protects them from the weather so that I'll still be able to read what the markers say. I just want to say something quick about seeds. I've been getting all my seeds ready, and I just want to point out that I typically use non-GMO, organic if possible, heirloom seeds. I bought these variety packs to keep just in case, but I already have so many seeds that either I've bought or were given to me, or all of these that I saved from last year's crop. But it's good to know where your seeds come from and if they're even able to propagate. A GMO seed most likely won't be able to produce the next generation. So I'm going to grow what I have, but eventually all of my seeds will come from my own garden. So I guess all we have to do is go outside and plant some seeds. Okay, so I'm going to get my soil ready. I'm just going to use regular potting mix. Doesn't have to be seed starter, just regular potting mix. I'm going to moisten it. I'm just going to give that a good mix. For demonstration purposes, I'm only going to do 3. So you can see, I'm just going to put some soil in the bottom of my container. And I'm not packing it down. I'm leaving it a little loose. I want the seeds to settle in. I have Brussels sprouts and peas and broccoli. It doesn't matter how many seeds you put in. If you think you do too many, you just thin them. This is probably about a dozen. Some people just loosely sprinkle them on top. If you want to separate them, that's fine. I just sprinkled them on top. You can press them in with your fingers. I just put another loose amount of dirt on top. I have my marker. Put it inside the jug. Tape that up. And that's it. I'm going to set this out. It's going to be in the snow. It's going to get snowed on, rained on. In the spring, when the sun has warmed up the container and the soil enough that this seed knows it's time to germinate, it just will naturally. I don't have to tell it 2 weeks before the last frost, 2 weeks after the last frost, when the soil can be worked. It's going to follow the environment, the temperature, the amount of rain, the amount of sun. It's going to know just when to come up. And then when the soil can be worked, when it's warm enough, I'll take these seedlings and plant them directly into the ground. But this is a mini greenhouse, a self-contained little ecosystem here. I'm not going to water it again until the spring when the sun starts coming up, and if I think it's drying out inside of here, I will add some water. This will create some condensation inside, so it will be self-watering to a point. So once the days get warm enough, I can take this tape off and open the jug so that it gets a full day of sun and gets hardened off before it actually goes in the ground. It will have had a few days exposed. It's about a dozen or more. Broccoli. Another loose pile of dirt. Now I have some peas. Peas are a little bit of a larger seed, so probably won't do as much. This is 8 seeds. And the peas, because they're larger seed and they're easier to separate, I am going to separate them, and I am going to press them in just a little bit. There you have it. If you're an avid gardener, you would know the satisfaction of just knowing you have seeds in the ground. Forget all this snow. I'm still gardening.